I've actually started recording it. So I think in the next 1 minute we are going to start. I will start by explaining what Climber is, how I got the idea, and how we would all get to benefit from it. So currently, I think we have like about 17 persons who joined at first, and I hope to scale it to like thousands of persons. And yeah, that's pretty much what the idea is about. So once it's 11:10, I start, I explain everything, I make it very formal, and I go down to the slide, explain everything. Okay, so I'm just trying to cancel some slides that are not really necessary on the PC to make it pretty easy for me to. I hope by canceling this, I'm not canceling. You canceled your audio. Did you mute your video? So I had to open so many tabs for it, and quite a lot of persons told me that they would not be online already before this time. So it's quite understandable. And that's the reason why I decided to make it like record. That's why I decided to record it so that everyone would have access to it. So if you can still hear me, please, I would appreciate if you would see you would see on your screen, you would see that chat button. You can just, or you will also see a hand there, so you can just signify with the hand if you can hear me, because I feel you have, okay, you've unmuted yourself, so it's cool. So I would rush down to the Facebook group now, and from the Facebook group, so I think I will officially start now. I will by explaining what Climber is. So the purpose of Climber, which I started, I think it's about few days now. It's few days already since I started Climber, and the goal is to help Africans, not just Africans. It's going to be an international stuff where people come to get trends, strategies, and insights to become world-class experts. And what I mean, people to also believe in life. But I wouldn't solicit that people go around telling lies. I would rather prefer that people go around telling the whole truth. But you just need to find a way to tell the story about yourself to get people connected to you and get people to believe in it in your own cause. So number 5, technology is the foundation that runs the world runs on. We are in a very new world, and the world that we live in, if you don't get to understand or believe that technology runs the world, I'm pretty sorry you might have issues. You might have so much issues. So you can tell the story everybody will believe if you craft it out well. Technology is the foundation that runs the world. Number 6, social media is not the way you perceive it to be. So we all have our definition of what we think social media ought to be. But honestly, wow, interesting. 4 participants. Who is who? So social media is not the way we perceive it to be. You can see someone driving all those luxurious stuff on social media, and they are not the way you think they are. Number 7, you can talk to Bill Gates if you know how. So I would explain this. It's one of the things that you get to learn in maximizing digital space to build influence. Is that you can talk to literally anybody if you know how to. You might be, you might have thought about it so many times that, okay, I actually wish that I could talk to this person. I actually wish I could talk to this celebrity. This person has helped me so much. I wish I could just tell this person how awesome this person has been to me and thank the person for helping me out in understanding this basic stuff, in pulling out this stuff, in explaining this particular process. It's very possible. It's just only if you know how to do it. Then number 8, empathy sustains humanity. So in this world that we live in, everyone is trying to be self-centered, everyone is trying to be selfish, everyone is trying to do things on their own, but empathy is what sustains us. Now look at what's happening with the coronavirus. A lot of people are coming to the scene to help one another. That is what drives humanity and keeps humanity from not crumbling. Number 9, the world can hear you out if you shout with the right frequency. So if you shout with the right frequency, the world can hear you out. Like I established from the first place, the world is pretty noisy, you need to find your voice. But at the same time, you also need to know how to shout with the right frequency. If you don't know how to shout with the right frequency, no one is going to hear you out.
Number 10, robots will take our jobs and invent new ones. So these are few facts you should definitely know or know basically. Before I now move to the next point. So starting from point zero is the first point I'm going to be explaining. 3 years ago, I basically had no skill except my shitty way of writing, my desire to be a better writer. So that was my goal 3 years ago. I just knew how to like write forms and write some shitty articles, and that was all there was to it. I had no idea that I would be good with marketing, business strategy, product development, content strategy, and a lot of other skills. I mean, I basically know all these skills. So, what exactly did I do to start from point zero? Now, I am trying to generalize. If you are here, you're running a business, you're trying to start a skill, you're just there, you're making $1 million in whatever you are achieving, but you still want to make so much. I would assume you're starting from point zero. Every point is like a point zero. If you read this book by Peter Thiel, From Zero to One, um, interestingly, on the Climber platform, we would also be having a section where you can listen to podcasts, where you can read books, because I'm going to be uploading books that you can get to read. You listen to podcast shows, like we'll be interviewing so many entrepreneurs, so many business folks, so many skilled persons that have been able to make very full amount of money with their skills, and they will explain how they were able to do it via podcast, where you can just at your leisure time download them and listen to them. So it's actually going to be an awesome platform. So we are exactly designed to start from point zero. Note, this class is not about how I learned those skills, but how I maximize digital space to build influence. So I won't dwell much on how I learned those skills. Now this class is about maximizing the digital space to build influence. It is not about how exactly I learned the skills I learned. Probably I'm going to make a podcast on how I learned the skills I learned and also make it available to you during the week. But what the only thing about this video is at the end of this class, I will be able to like share this video to everyone. You all have access to it. I will put it on YouTube, then send the private link to everyone on the group. So this class is not for, okay, they are still all on point. I'm just trying to check if anyone has any message. So this class is all about how I learned those skills, about how I maximize digital space. I began my journey from medium.com. Note, if you're here, if you're a young person, whatever you are, medium.com is an awesome platform. Here you can go get so many knowledge. I remember basically starting from December 2017, when I wanted to hone my writing skills. A friend of mine referred me to Medium, and I went there. Medium is a blog publication site where you can read on so many things, on startup founding, on whatever skill you want to learn on planet Earth is on Medium. There are many professional folks that are on Medium that have been able to explain the step-by-step processes on how you can go about it. And I would want to tell you, once you're a member of Climb, one of the things that we encourage you to do is to have this learning ability. If you don't have this learning ability, this quest for knowledge, this craving for to know more, I would encourage and implore you that you try to imbibe that culture in yourself. It's going to really help you to scale fast. So I started from medium.com. I wanted to be a better writer, so I began to follow lots of folks on Medium. I followed Big Collar School, I followed Tom Kegler, and I learned so much from them, how they began their writing journey, and how to go about it, how to build your audience of one. I learned so much from these guys. So I think this is a blog writer where you can read articles on different topics by different persons. I spent hours on the platform before I moved to YouTube. So one way or the other, through Medium, I began to know many entrepreneurs, many startup founders around, many writers around the world, and know what they were doing. Some of them had their own personal websites where they encouraged I went there, saw what they were doing. I followed them on YouTube. I saw the books they recommended. Excuse me. So that was the beginning of the whole journey for me. Still starting from point zero, I kept learning and building my digital writing skills. And from there, I found out about content marketing. So this, this is just how life is. Like, this is just how success is. This is just how everything works. You start from point zero. You can never ever start from point one if you, and that's the problem. The problem is a lot of you actually want to start from point one. You're like, okay, I want to do this thing. And every of the old idea is in your head and you're like, okay, where exactly are you going to start from? Just start from point zero. Just start anywhere. Like, Just start from the basics. The basic is understanding, knowing, like, okay, let me know what this is. Let me do it. Like that's what starting is about. And with time you begin to like find your path, you begin to find direction, you begin to know what exactly to do. This is what you need to do part time, this is where you need to go, and this is how to go about it. So I kept learning one way or the other. One of the people I follow talked about content marketing. Okay, he talked about content strategy. I cannot really remember the person, and I followed. I began to read more about content strategy. I got so interested from there. I got to know about content marketing. I got to hear about HubSpot. HubSpot. I feel I should write. If you're here and you want to learn some basic skills, I feel let me just write what HubSpot is. HubSpot. You can just go follow HubSpot.com, and once you follow HubSpot.com, you will get to learn some basic skills from free. Just go there, you will see the skills you want to learn. So quick suggestion, go search YouTube for the video on skills relevant in the 21st century. So if this applies to you, if you actually started from point zero in the area of skills, just go to YouTube. I don't need to begin to explain to you that, okay, the latest skills to learn is software development, maybe marketing, maybe software testing. I don't need to explain all those to you. YouTube would do a very, very good job for you. So go to YouTube, search YouTube on skills relevant in the 24th century, watch a couple of them, research on each skill. Just all you need to do is just to spend data. Research on each skill by watching videos on them and how they work. So pick one, then start from point zero. Like once you might even eventually switch. I started from writing, and yeah, I am. I'm a startup founder of two companies. I started from writing, I moved to content strategy, I moved to content writing, I moved to business strategy, I moved to product development, and that is it. Like I did not know I would keep evolving till I got to this point. And that's what eventually what happened. So the moment you pick up a skill, you'll be able to know what to do next if you are passionate enough. So what you just basically need to do is pick up the passion. Pick up that passion that you really, really want to become a world expert, world success. This is not just about becoming a world expert, but becoming a world success, achieving financial success too with the skills or business that you're going to be running. So my passion made me remain active in learning. So one way or the other, I stumbled on books to read, followed people to follow, and courses to take. I knew what to do next. So now, carving your own space. So let's assume you start, you're having your own business. Remember, this is maximizing digital space to build influence. So it is not specific to if you are learning a skill. It's neither specific to if you're running a business. It's just a general thing to know on how you can maximize digital space to build influence. So you need to, and like I said, I already mentioned the 10 things you need to know that nobody cares about you. You need to be able to find your own voice, the world is noisy. You need to be able to tune your voice to the right frequency, the frequency at which people listen to. And, you know, prior to this time, a lot of people paid attention to photos before blogs. Blogs are hardly reduced. People hardly read blogs these days. People read blogs, but not as much as they pay attention to videos. So you need to tune your voice to the right frequency to meet with the people you want to meet with, to be able to own the audience you want to own, to be able to reach out to the world the way the world wants to accept it. So carry your own space. The world is pretty noisy. You must find your own voice. Everyone must belong to somewhere. If you are a writer, you must belong to the community of writers, even though you may not know it exists. So this is one problem that I figured out that a lot of persons face. You are starting your own business, you are having a particular skill, and you are just on your own. If okay, I actually remember that I know so many folks here who are just on their own. Okay, so if I know a lot of persons who are just on their own. You're having these skills and you just by yourself. It's not pretty cool. So if let me just okay, I would not right if you can see the chat box there. If you are having a particular skill and you feel that you are on your own, I just want to say hi. Like just type hi, and you're not having any connection to any world. Just like you can just like write a chat with hi. then I would know. So you need to belong somewhere. So one of the things I did early, which was pretty awesome, was I tried to find people to connect to. When I started writing, I began to look for writing communities to join. The moment you think you are good being all by yourself, you are missing it and you are missing out. You're missing it, you're missing out. So I joined a community of writers, different community of writers. I began to like go search for them. Now that I'm even in the edtech space, I found this thing that before I found this thing that I went to look for a community of people that are actually running the same company as I am running, and I followed them. I began to pay attention to what they were doing, what exactly was I missing out. Believe you me, if I had not joined, I would have missed so many things out. I must have probably still be like way back. So you need to go look for community. The thing is, communities exist for whatever you're doing on this earth, whatever skill or business you're running, there is a community for it. So just go look for the community. The community can be one person or one other person doing it. Community can be 10 other persons doing it. Community can be 100 other persons doing it. But you just need to um, you need to go find, excuse me, so you need to go find a community to join. You need to belong to a community. If you're an entrepreneur, you belong to the community. You need to belong to the community of. Oh. If you're an entrepreneur, you need to belong to the community of entrepreneurs, even though your entrepreneurship knowledge sucks. It's not compulsory you begin to contribute to the community immediately you join. All you just need to do is like you need to just pay attention to what these guys are doing. Yeah, so I needed to sanitize my hands. If you've not sanitized your hand, if you've not gotten hand sanitizer, I would encourage that you get hand sanitizer. COVID-19, like our president said, COVID-19 coronavirus is actually very real. So you need to like try to get hand sanitizer to stay safe. I have to request for it. And so if you belong to a community of persons, entrepreneurship or whatever, you need to go there and participate and see what these guys are actually doing. Before you can think of building influence, you must first understand that there is a space you belong to. I must identify with them or else you'll be lost. This applies to any skills or business. You must identify with people. So go out there after this lecture. I'm going to write a summary of it. I'm going to share this Google slides with everyone. Just go out there, go search for communities that are doing similar things. Believe you me, you'll be shocked at what people are doing. You'll be like, oh, are you 10 years behind? Are you 5 years behind? Are you actually in pace with them? We are still identifying carving your own space, how to identify your space. So we're talking about how to identify your space. One, you need to know what you do. You cannot identify a space if you don't know exactly what you do. If you're a writer, what type of writer are you? A poet, a storyteller? If you're a fashion designer, what type of fashion designer? Okay, let me just say this. Let me say this and to be very clear. One of the things that we'll be doing in Climber is to make sure you know what you're doing that leads to the path of profit making. Like how you can be able to do so many things accurately and precisely without having so many issues. I am pretty aware that we are all in Africa and everyone is running towards survival. But believe you me, survival instinct is good. The survival instinct is different from wealth building instinct. And what Climber is going to help you do is Climber is going to help you build this wealth instinct to be able to do the right things at the right time and like be specific with whatever you're doing. And I'm basically still checking what I'm doing one after the other. So okay. So doing this will help you know the space to go to exactly if you're a photographer, what niche of photography do you belong? That's the first step. So you need to figure out the first step. Then next step is to find them. If you're into photography, chances are your community would. Can I edit this? Yes, I can. So your community would be more dominant on Instagram and not LinkedIn. If you write, chances are you locate your folks on Medium and not Instagram. If you're into fashion, A lot of fashion folks are on Instagram. They're on Instagram, they're on Reddit, they're on I think these are the two platforms I can remember very well. You will not need to spend so much time on LinkedIn if you're a fashion person. You will need to spend so much time on Instagram, on Reddit if you're into fashion. Um, what else? There is this platform I'm trying to remember that deals with videos. It's keep my mind. So just know your niche and be able to like go. So you can just write this down as you're learning this. Be taking the action one after the other. Okay, you're into um, baking, confectionaries, and everything. Just go. Where are these guys and what are they doing? I'm going to shock you with some other things I did. So these are the basic things I did when I started. The purpose of belonging to a community is to stay informed and know what the latest is. The moment you are outdated, you are in a big trouble. So the moment you get outdated, you are in a very, very big trouble. Now that you belong to a community, you need to carve out your own space and amplify your voice. The goal of being in a community is just to know what's up, to know what's happening, and not to like just to be behind. But now that you're in the community, the next thing is like you need to secure your own space and amplify your voice. Everybody's just trying to shout now in the world that we are in. Everybody's just trying to, I want attention, I want to do this. Everybody's just trying to do so many things. Attempt, attempt, attempt. That's not the goal. The goal is to be able to carve out your own space, and I'm going to explain how you will get to do that because the purpose of this is of climb community or climb tribe is that once you're a member of the tribe, you are able to do things precisely. I hope you get to understand me, and I hope my case is showing very well. So everyone wants to be heard, so they scream. The only problem is they don't love noises. People don't love noises. They want sounds that make meaning. So you will need to seek a way to make your voice unique. You need to seek a way to make your voice unique. There are ways you can do this, and I will talk on two or three of them. Yes, I can see it very well now. There are ways to make sounds that will make meaning. So all these things is not something that you do overnight. You don't get to achieve all this overnight. But believe you me, if you want to achieve influence in the digital space, these are the things you need to do. I have been able to achieve influence in 8 countries so far across Africa. I really don't know about. I know I've been also able to influence people in other countries across Africa, outside Africa. I know people following me from Australia, from USA, from London, yes, like from UK. So I can say of those three outside Nigeria, Ghana, South Africa, Zimbabwe, Zambia, Botswana, Kenya, eight and basically, but I cannot remember every of them. So these are the things I did that I followed step by step. So one, how to raise your voice. Be smart. Listen to what your people want, then help them out. Like I said, nobody gives a damn about you. They only want answers to their problems. And if you can consistently solve their problems, they will come around you. Now, before you can solve people's problems, obviously you need to know how to solve the problem. So like I said, I'm not teaching you how to learn a skill. I'm not teaching you how to understand how to run your business. With time, I might not even be the one to teach on that, to make a lecture on that. Obviously, I'm going to be inviting various entrepreneurs, if it's for the business folks, in different industries. In the fashion industry, who knows, I might get to invite Yomi Casual. I might get, okay, someone has sent a message. Let me get to read the person's message. Um, Something happened to my network. That means I'll be doing a lot of editing. I'll see later this morning. How do I even have access to it? Okay, it has disconnected. Why did you disconnect? Wow. Yeah, so apologies for that. I had the problem is that Zoom actually limits the number of Zoom limits the minutes for making these calls to excuse me. Zoom limits the minutes for making the calls like this to 40 minutes. So you need to have like 40-minute calls before they can help you extend the time for whatever you want to do. So this is the third time that it's going to exceed that. I had one meeting this morning and it exceeded 40 minutes. So now I'll be able to have lots of downtime. Okay, yeah, so we're good. So now I'll be able to have lots of downtime. I need to share my screen. So sorry for the glitch, guys. I will try to like edit everything and make it perfect. Then also I will ensure that it's actually going to be better next time. So apologies for this. So be smart. This is what your people want. Then help them out. Nobody gives about them about it. They only want answers to their problems. People can consistently solve their problem. They will come around you. So what are the problems they are facing? I need to like stop my WhatsApp from making so much noise. So I like stop it. You should figure that out by yourself. The chief code is by listening. If you don't listen, you will not hear a thing. I don't know if you can actually see my face. Cool. So if you're not listening, you will not hear a thing. So the thing is, like I said earlier, can you guys hear me? Okay, so we have 5 participants already on board. Interesting. I need to like share this Seriously? Okay, we have Joseph Beji on board. If you can hear me, please respond to this with a chat, not with a voice note. So okay, someone has sent a message and trying to like read it. Okay, interesting. So what I promise you're facing, you should figure that out by yourself. The cheat code is listening. If you don't listen, you will not hear a thing. Listen to, okay, you want to build influence. What you just want to do is you want to build influence in a digital space. So it's not really about making millions of dollars now. It's about how you can build influence, then leveraging on the influence to achieve whatever you want to achieve. So if you want to build influence, it's obvious that you want to build influence on some persons. You want to build influence on some set of persons. So you need to listen to them. You need to know what their problem is. Pay attention to it. Like what I do basically is I try to so far over time pay attention to the persons I'm trying to influence. And if you notice me, a lot of you that get to follow me, I believe some of you actually do follow me. And you will discover that sometimes I do ask some basic questions. What are the things these guys are asking? What are the things youth are asking outside there? What are the problems they are facing? And stuff like that. The reason I'm asking all these questions is because I want to listen. I'm trying to listen to know what people are going through and see how what I'm doing can align with them. So it means you need to take your time out to know what people want, and that means you mustn't get so encumbered with your own self and what you think they want. How to raise your voice? Give yourself an identity. A lot of you here don't have an identity, yet you want to build an influence on the digital space. It doesn't just work that way. If you don't have an identity, there is obviously no way you can actually get to raise your voice. People listen to people that they know. People listen to human beings. People don't listen to inanimate things. People listen to things that they know exist. People listen to people who are real, that expresses themselves, that they can see, that they can feel, that they can resonate with. I've had lots of people tell me, oh, I can resonate with you because what you're doing is actually real to me. So no one knows a nobody. I really don't want my throat to get dry. So I would just say this. If this popular Nigerian artist, Burna Boy, writes a book on how to become a very good writer, and I write a book on how to become a very good writer, people will still buy Burna Boy's book because they know Burna Boy. Nobody knows me from the pit of hell. Nobody knows me from the gate of heaven. No one is going to buy my book because they might not be convinced that I have what I have as a value. So people go with people that they know, that they've been able to follow, that they've seen their voice, they've listened to their voice, they can resonate with their voice. So you must make people understand that you are somebody. And few ways you can go about it. One, telling a narrative about yourself in order to make people believe you. So this is it. I would assume by now that you know the channel or that you know the platform that you actually want to get whatever you want to get from, where your community belongs. If your community belongs on Instagram, then obviously start with Instagram. Your community belongs on LinkedIn, start with LinkedIn. Your community belongs on Facebook, maximize Facebook. Your community belongs on Reddit, maximize Reddit. Your community is on Snapchat, maximize Snapchat. I think Rihanna is very, very active on Snapchat. She was able to build one of her fortunes from Snapchat. Kylie Jenner, the makeup goddess, self-made billionaire, got her millions of dollars from Instagram through sales. So you need to tell a narrative about yourself to make them believe in you. All these things are achievable. Now it might sound like, okay, what does this guy really say? What does it mean? How am I going to go about this and stuff like that? They're very achievable. Show you care about people and the problem you're solving. You're into fashion, you really need to care, you really need to show people but you care about fashion, that you love fashion, and that you care about them with the problem you're solving. I feel one of these days I'm going to invite Jomi Casual. If possible, I'm going to like try to coordinate him to get him on board to talk about how he was able to build his fashion business and how he was able to scale with the fashion world. I believe there are lots of fashionists on this. I believe there are lots of fashionistas on this group. So for the sake of those fashionistas who are on this group, um, I would say that, like I said, I'll bring so many folks on board. So show you care, show up consistently, all these things are new things that you might be really, really familiar with. Just don't stop. One of the things that matters when you're trying to build a digital space to build influence, you will not get your results immediately. It's not possible. So you need to show up consistently, show up every day, even if it's not adding up. Then be personal with them. You will need to get to the point where you're personal with them, relate with them, and relate using words like me, I, myself, you, yourself. When I started writing, I actually did not know how to relate with people to be able to win them. Till I began to understand from other writers on how they were able to like pull the string, how they were able to pull the string, how they were able to achieve what they were, how they were able to achieve what they achieved. And I thought there was this connection between myself and them, and that was because they knew how to, they were able to, how I put, use personal words like I, me, you, myself. So it was more personal. It was pretty personal, and I was able to flow with it. Let them feel you are on a big mission. So one of the things that helped me with Think and Act when I started was I made people feel that I was on a big mission to save the world, to change the narrative of education in Africa to stop unemployment. You need to do that too. Let people know that you're on a big mission in the fashion industry, that you really want to change, you really want to give people the best fashion design. In the programming world, let people know that you're actually on a big mission to change the world of coding, to be able to empower others with coding. If you're in this culinary world, let people get to know that you're in the culinary world and you love to change people's taste, you love to give people new recipes, you're not cool with way people are getting to take tasteless stuff and stuff like that. Let people know you're on a big mission. Else, sorry, no one is going to get your identity. So I'm still on how to raise your voice. You need to leverage on bigger voices. Now, this is one of the things I discovered that not so many people know how to go about. How to raise their voices. You need to leverage on bigger voices. This is a very quick approach to getting your voice to the head, and I'm going to explain some few things I did along my journey. There are some persons who have successfully created a voice for themselves. You can make them your friend or look for ways to work with them, and there are ways you can achieve this. 30-second speech. This works any day, anytime if you're very smart and know exactly what you can offer. The first thing to stop the person through different platforms and pay attention to where you can meet the person. So I was watching a video on Y Combinator, and from the video, the founders of Reddit, when they were seeking for funding for their company, they had to stop one of the prominent founders then, Paul Graham, who just started Y Combinator, and they knew that, oh, this dude was going to travel down to so and so countries to hold an event. We need to be at that event. So they took their flights, both of them, both founders took their flights down to the country and to the state where the person is coming and attended the event and got to meet him. And in 30 seconds, they were able to like say this and this and this is what we do. And I've been able to try this through a couple of times where I would like try to say, okay, this person is actually, Jomi Casual is coming to Abuja. If I were to be in the fashion world, I would find my way to get down there and meet with him. And when you meet with Yomi Casual, you're not trying to tell them, hey, Yomi Casual, I have really, really loved what you're doing. Well done, sir, and that's all. You want to pitch yourself to him. Hey, Yomi Casual, I love what you're doing. Blah, blah. Don't mind to, you need to have that gut. I wouldn't mind to like get in touch with you. I have some specific questions to ask about the fashion world. Why is this and this like this and this and this? Do you mind if I can like mail you to be able to get response on this? Oh, it's fine. Yeah, it's good. definitely as I said, they have experience in the industry. If you don't know you're casual, it's not. I'm just using like an example for the fashion world because it's one of the prominent figures in the fashion world. And so folks, especially entrepreneurs who seek funding, can try to bump onto potential investors and pitch to them. I feel okay. Someone has left who is still on board. Deji Joseph has left. Joseph Faraday is still here. Okay, so and I think what Deji Joseph wrote to Deji Joseph here, you really love to hear from him. You'll be casual. Well, interesting. Um, are you in the fashion world? That's what I'm just gonna ask. Are you in the fashion world? Um, I think the next time we'll be holding this Zoom call, everything is going to be standard. So apologies, guys. That anyone who sends a message, it's going to pop up. And yeah, so I'm going to well, interesting. Can you hear me? I would really love to hear from you, casual. So that was what the Joseph wrote. And okay, so one of the basic ways to do this is, like I said, travel down to events, get to block them. It works. Believe in me, guys. It works. So I would also recommend something. You can go to eventbrite.com. Go to eventbrite.com and you will get to see events that are happening around Nigeria, Africa. It's not just a Nigeria platform. You get to see events that are actually going to happen, and you can join. You can see Saturday Planet of Bolingo Tars event in Nigeria, Mina Leadership Summit, Google Cloud Services for Business Owners. See more. So you can search anything. So I don't think there are so many events holding because of the coronavirus that's actually going on. But you can come to Climber, you can come to Eventbrite to be able to see events that are actually going on within um, your environment. So with that, you can actually, basically, you can stalk whoever you are following. You can get to stalk them. And once you stalk them, you will be able to know the events that they are going to attend. And if it's within your locality, you can get to attend those events. So, two, cold emailing. This works if you understand the techniques, and it has so many tricks to it. Cold emailing. Let me edit this stuff. It's cold, not cold. Cold emailing simply means getting the email of the people who can help you and reaching out to them directly. I thought I prefer this. Reaching out to them directly to get their contact details. So I tried something very, very unique today, and I've been doing this for a very long time. A lecture on cold email will be taken in the near future. I'm going to take a lecture on cold emailing, perhaps by someone who has successfully used it to grow a startup some millions. So I might eventually get to bring on board someone who has been able to maximize cold emailing to do a startup to some millions of dollars. It's not in Nigeria, his name is Sampa. The founder of the Hustle and Trends. I've tried cold emailing before and it worked. So let me just show you one of the things I did some time ago, which was last year. A friend of mine tagged me on a particular post on Facebook about someone trying to do some giveaway of some financial capacity, a very, very big figure in Nigeria living in the United States. What I did was I tried to go check his profile and I found his profile, I found his email, and what I did was to go get his email, trying to load my Gmail. So That's what we get for being in Nigeria. I mean, the network sometimes can be really, really shitty. But I cannot go back to my inbox again. Come on. Yeah. Okay, so I was able to pop it up. I have to go like I've said before. So what I basically did was I got to his mail and I sent him a message. Yes, the message I sent him. I said, "Good morning, sir. Now that we're in Africa, you need to use some respect." Then I didn't really know so much on how to like use the code emailing stuff, but it works still. It works nevertheless. But do I know how to use it better this time around? And I know I can use it to like get what I want to achieve. I really monitor. I hope you had a nice day. I just came across your page this morning because someone mentioned me on it, and I've read through your posts and they're inspiring. I made a comment on one of your posts. This is my comment below. So I posted what I wrote on the Facebook, blah 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 blah, da 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 da. This is what it, it does. I would like to reach a bigger audience. I started following you, so I don't know if you have one set up. I'm only giving a suggestion. Thank you for what you're doing. God bless. So in the mail, I thanked him for what he was doing. I told him on how he can actually, how I've benefited from exploring his Facebook, perusing his Facebook profile, and on how he can get to, I can get to learn from him. So he got to reply me, "Hi Joel, thanks for your detailed notes. You're spot on. Many students don't like to agree to your first one. No, I don't have anything set up. Your initiative is good. Let's keep in touch and see how I can help." I think he replied my mail. I sent the first mail on September 21. He replied me on September 22. That was just a day's difference. That shows these folks check their mails. Not every one of them do. Then I drove, blah, 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 blah. Then on September 22, I said, "Thanks for your quick response. I'm sending some attachments concerning the goal of my initiative. This, da, 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 da. I sent what I do. To be really honest, your mentorship will be of better importance to me at this time. Thank you very much." That was September 22, no response. September 25th, "Good morning, sir. I trust you're doing. Have a beautiful day." September 25th, no response. October 1st, "Good morning, sir. I wish you had an awesome day today. I wish you an awesome day today." October 1st, no response. Then October 2nd, "Hi, Joel. Please let's talk next week. Thanks." "Okay, sir. We look forward to that. So thank you, sir." October 8th, "Good evening, sir. I'm sure your weekend is awesome. You told me to get back to you this week. Last week I've been able to find it. Blah, 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 blah." That was a week back. So he now told me that I'm in Nigeria but don't have a working number yet. Let's look at Thursday or Friday. Thanks for reaching out. October 9, "Wow, welcome to Nigeria. I'm sure you'll be able to enjoy blah, 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 blah." That was October 9th. October 10th, "Good morning, sir. Blah, blah, blah." October 11th, blah, 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 blah. October 11th, "Please add me on WhatsApp so we can chat." He sent me his number. And we had a chat and we were able to build a friendship from there. So I did something also again today. I reached out to let me show you. Oluwa Aboyeji. If you guys know Andela and Flutterwave, I reached out to Oluwa Aboyeji this morning because I would want to invite him down for a meeting, to be one of the speakers, to share how he was able to grow Andela from, and at the same time grow Flutter with two startups at the same time. I mean, who goes to startups at the same time to the point of success? It's actually really, really crazy. So I was able to get his emails, and one of the ways you can get their email is to use this platform, rocketreach.co. Let me try to load it. So I used rocketreach.co. I went to check his LinkedIn. Okay, yeah, it's still even there. I went to check his LinkedIn profile. I got his mail from there, but they don't put all their mails on their LinkedIn profile, so I have to use rocketreach.co. With rocketreach.co, you can be able to like get the mails of people. I'm going to do an extensive teaching on cold emailing. You can be able to get the emails of the people who track down their emails. So I got his email, four of his emails. Then his emails. I wrote to good morning, Mr. Aboyeji. I'm sure I'm drawn and pretty aware of how busy a man you'll be, so I'll make this brief and in 30 minutes you'll face other important tasks. I've been following you for months and I know your achievements in the African space. Okay, so thank you. I'm following you for months and I know of your achievements in the African tech space as a young man. I've tried to reach you personally through social media, but all crash. Congrats on the new success of Angela and Flutterwave. Watched a video of yours months back, although the video is years ago, where you talked about how you wanted to find an etc. That interaction was important. Like I'm gonna explain it, make a lecture on cold emailing. One of or once our platform is up, there are so many things that can be shared simultaneously on the platform, interviewing these guys and so many things that you get to learn. So I learned it from blah 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 blah. I wouldn't want to talk too much, blah blah blah. I hope to get an email response from you to acknowledge the survey. I started on blah blah blah. Thank you for your precious time. Now, I believe that Inyolua has not read this. I believe if he has read it, he would have given me a response. And if he has read it and has not given me a response, I'm going to do a follow back email next week. So that's about code emailing. I can do well without this. 3. Strategic commenting. This applies to the rules of stalking. I mean stalking the people that you're following. Pardon my hair. Yeah, so I have to like remove my headset, so it's really bugging my ear, but I can still close. So what you do is stalk an influencer in your space and comment on every important post they make. It gives you an opportunity to be noticed by such influencer and it opens you up to visibility by the follower or such influencer. By the followers of such influencer. I use this strategy to get recognized by Dr. Strive Matthew Iwa and even Professor Undubusi Ekekwe. So I would really try to show you a particular chart of mine. So okay, so someone is like making a post. So I want to show you. I was able to leverage on Dr. Strive Matthew Iwa's so you would get to see this. Strive Matthew Iwa has so many followings on Facebook. He has hundreds of thousands of people that follow him. And one of the things I did was that whenever I put his post on notification, whenever Strive Matthew Iwa makes a post, he has hundreds of thousands and millions of people that get to see his post. So what I do is I put this post on notification and I ensure that I comment as soon as possible. So I read the post, I'm going to pay attention to it, then I'm going to comment on it. Something very, very valuable. With that, I was stealing, I wouldn't say stealing, I was building my own audience from his own audience. And that is what I mean by strategic commenting. Now see this guy's message. And I've received, this is one of my new followers from Botswana. He said, hi, my name is Kaba. I've been following you on Facebook from my own country, Botswana, blah, 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 blah. He got to know me through Iwa. Let me try to get a specific post from someone. I've gotten so many. I'm trying to get someone specifically who started following me from Strive Iwa. Let me see. No, I don't know this dude. Um, I seem to not find it. So what the thing is, I have been able to I've gotten so many messages on Facebook from folks that tell me, hey guy, I saw your post on Stripe Masiwa. It was so dope, it was so powerful. I would love to follow you, they follow me, and automatically I'll be able to command them to be my audience. And from there, I can sell to them, I can build my influence on them. They are seeking attention, they are seeking solutions to the problem. And I'm offering it to them by strategy commenting. I was able to do that to Professor Ulubusi Ekukwe and landed me a job. I'm trying as much as possible to really stay hydrated. My throat gets to get dry a lot of times. So stalk your influencers, whatever post they make, try to comment as often as possible, put it on notification, comment, um, try to bring their follow. Okay, so next. So also again, I'm going to take a lecture on strategic commenting. It might be a blog post or something of sort. I'm going to explain on strategic commenting and how you can leverage on that. Owning your audience. Sometimes the reason you're not having influence digitally is because you don't have an audience. You may have thousands of friends on Facebook, but may not have an audience. Friends are just people who come around to tell you congratulations when you get married or you get a new job or even spy on you. Your audience are people who care about every word you say or action you take. They are people who look up to you and learn from you. These are your audience, and you need to build one and then own them. You first need to build an audience before you can own your audience. You cannot own an audience you've not built. So one of the problems you guys are facing is that you just struggling in the waters of the digital world is because you don't have an audience. You only have friends, and your friends are not your audience. So building an audience, how do you build an audience? How do you make them believe in what you do? How do you go there from followers to fans to customers? I'll do a separate lecture on this for the tribe. In one of our lectures, I've mentioned so many things I'm going to be doing a lecture on. And that's because the purpose of this is just how you can maximize, how you can build influence on the digital space. So that's what I'm saying. There's so many things in for this community, for this tribe. So owning your audience, one basic thing you need to know is you can do it. Don't be everywhere. Change your value perception, your name, your photo. And this is one of the things. When I first started on Facebook being active, I had issues. I was using a very, very young boy's photo, so everyone felt that I was this guy struggling, and they can just call me, hey bro, hey man, hi man, what's up, bro, sup, all those sort of stuff. I had to change it to someone putting on a suit for them to get a value perception that, oh, this person is matured and stuff like that. So if you're into baking, you can just go customize some photos, do something that portrays the value you're offering. Interact with them, focus on how you're unique, try to pay attention to what makes you stand out. One of the things I noticed that makes me stand out is my ability to tell awesome stories, to make things, complex things really simple through my writing. Always share, don't hold. Don't forward stuff. The moment you share stuff and people realize that you're sharing stuff, they become loyal to you. They keep talking. Don't stop talking. Don't stop talking. So Also, next is influence. I would try to turn on. Yeah, awesome. So influence, how to get the influence? One, you need to increase your gut, so you are actually better than most people, but they deal with the thing is, the world deals with perception. You might be better than most people, but if you don't know how to understand the way you're perceived, you might have issues. So you need to give them a chance to prove you. The networking, once again, the lecture will be made on this. Like, time is obviously of essence here, so I would try as much as possible to make this really, really fast. It's already 58 minutes, and I want to just do 1 hour. So I would explain networking. I mean, I've benefited so much from networking, just so much, just so much. So I'll be able to like do a very, very proper teaching on networking, and I'm very sure it's going to be fire. It's going to be really, really crazy. So end of the class. If you follow the slides to the end and you didn't get a chance to watch the video where I explained it, this is www.climber.xyz. Now, the website is not up and running yet. It's going to be up and running in the next um, 3 weeks. Let's say maximum 4 weeks. It's going to be up and running in the next 4 weeks. Where, can you see my face? Can you see my face? Yep. It's going to be up and running in the next 4 weeks where you can have access to sort of all this content. What I'm just basically going to do is I'll try to like edit this stuff, then mail it to you guys to be able to have access to it. Then you can subscribe to membership and have access to all this content. So our lectures are going to be holding every Friday. It's not compulsory you live on the lecture because I'm going to record it and send to everyone to be able to have access to it. So our lecture holds this Friday and the next week Friday, but for now I'm going to like work on this and send to you on Monday. I'm going to send to everyone. Then I'm going to write a summary of this class. Then I'm going to send the link to the video, the link to the slides, the link to the blog. For now, we're going to be using Think and Act blog site, but everything is just exclusive to this class. So, well, for a